from his sister. And mentioning a fever is about as clear as it gets in North Korea, which has been counting fever cases rather than confirmed COVID-19 infections during its outbreak. Remember, the North is believed to lack the infrastructure to carry out widespread COVID-19 testing. But has there been any other suggestion in recent weeks that Kim Jong-un's been seriously ill? A South Korean Unification Ministry official told reporters Seoul cannot officially confirm that Kim had a high fever, but analysts here have pointed out his several breaks from the public eye since the official start of the North's outbreak in April. For instance, there was the 10-day absence after Kim got close to the public during a massive military parade at the start of May. After another 10-day disappearance, there was an absence of nearly 3 weeks in July. For years, Kim's absences have sparked health rumors, but given North Korea's own admission, perhaps there's some weight to the speculation this time. Also consider that in mid-May, we heard the assessment from the National Intelligence Service here in Seoul that Kim Jong-un had not been vaccinated against COVID-19. Kim said it was unprecedented in the history of global health that his country's COVID-19 death toll should be just 74, particularly as the North has rejected offers of vaccine support from South Korea and the US. Rather than accepting this miracle, outside observers have been skeptical.
In our worldview today, North Korea is warning the U.S. against causing a stink as Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin begin their Asia visit. That statement Tuesday came from Kim Jong-un's sister Kim Yo-jong, who said if the U.S. wants to sleep in peace for the coming 4 years, it needs to refrain from causing a stink at its first step. Those comments are the first directed at the Biden administration, and it comes as the U.S. and South Korea conduct their annual military exercises, something the North sees as a provocation. Blinken and Austin are set to meet with South Korean officials in Seoul tomorrow. A senior White House official tells the AP the Biden administration has reached out to Pyongyang through multiple channels, but it hasn't received a response yet. Chinese President Xi Jinping is calling on regulators to step up oversight of the country's largest tech companies. Xi specifically warned Beijing will go after platform companies involved in massive data collection and those that wield significant influence in the market. Chinese regulators have set their sights on Alibaba over the last few months, reportedly ordering the company to shed its media assets. It's also called on the Ant Group to restructure its business after regulators halted its IPO last year. Shares of Tencent have been under pressure on expectations officials will target the company next. And over in Australia, Facebook has signed a deal with News Corp to pay for its news content in the country. The multi-year deal includes content from Rupert Murdoch's conservative media outlets, including The Australian. The agreement comes a month after Facebook removed all news articles from its platform in the country in response to legislation that required social media companies to compensate news outlets.
The White House is hosting the wedding of President Biden's oldest granddaughter, Naomi, and her fiance, Peter Neal.
But as Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports, breaking tradition, the first family did not allow reporters to cover the festivities.
President Biden's granddaughter, Naomi, was married here at the White House Saturday morning at 11 a.m. We have some new photos to show you. The White House says about 250 people attended the service on the South Lawn to see Naomi Biden wed Peter Neal. The President and First Lady said in a statement, it has been a joy to watch Naomi grow, discover who she is, and carve out such an incredible life for herself. Following the ceremony, the President and First Lady hosted a luncheon for the wedding party in the state dining room of the White House. A reception with dessert and dancing took place Saturday evening. The President recently claimed he has some other good news to share. Prices are beginning to decrease.
Inflation at the grocery store is coming down slightly. Prices for things like clothes and television and appliances are going down as well as we head into the holidays. Gas prices are down, but it's going to take time to get inflation back to normal levels.
It's not just reducing inflation on the president's Christmas list, but getting student debt relief back on track as well, after some federal appeals courts blocked Biden's executive order. Critics and some judges call Biden's plan unconstitutional. The White House has filed an emergency request to the Supreme Court, hoping it can help resume those student debt relief plans. The celebrating will continue at the White House through the weekend. President Biden turns 80 years old on Sunday, the oldest U.S. president in history and the first octogenarian to hold the office. At the White House, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Green. First of all, on the appointment of the special counsel today, former President Trump reacted to this news in an interview, calling this the, quote, worst politicization of justice. He said that this was an unfair and political decision. I'm wondering if you have a response to that.
Look, I will say this, and I've said this many times before, we do not politicize the Department of Justice. That is something that the president said during the campaign. That is something that the president said in his early days of being in the White House, and that continues to be true. We were not involved in this particular issue. We are not involved in, let me just say that more broadly, we're not involved in criminal investigations that are done independently by the Department of Justice. We were not given advance notice. Again, I would refer you to Department of Justice on any questions on this, but this is not an administration that the President has been very clear that will politicize the Department of Justice.
And then on the MBS immunity issue, the administration was invited by the court to make a filing in this case, but it was not required to do so. So why not let the court make its own determination as it relates to MBS's immunity, particularly at a time when you're supposedly reevaluating the relationship with Saudi Arabia?
So look,
Раз посадили, значит заслужила. Пускай сидит, будет себя хорошо вести, получит УДО, выйдет на свободу с чистой совестью.
нас большинство сюда везут таких людей, как говорится, особо опасных. Человек вроде, как говорится, баскетболистка, спортсменка, и осудили и привезли в Мордовию. Это для меня шок большой. У нас в Мордовии много таких людей, осужденных, здесь сидят. Ну, я вообще первый раз слышу, что такая знаменитость у нас, при том, что баскетболистка.
Раз посадили, значит заслужила. Пускай сидит, будет себя хорошо вести, получит УДО, выйдет на свободу с чистой совестью.
У нас большинство сюда везут таких людей, как говорится, особо опасных. Человек вроде, как говорится, баскетболистка, спортсменка, и осудили и привезли в Мордовию. Это для меня шок большой. У нас в Мордовии много таких людей, осужденных здесь сидят. Ну, я вообще первый раз слышу, что такая знаменитость у нас, при том, что баскетболистка.